everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about everything books and occasionally cats join us. Today, all three cats are sleeping in different locations. If you look kind of over there, Nike is sleeping. You can kind of see her. She's very cute. The other two are sleeping behind the camera. So we'll only have one guest appearance, I'm guessing, for today, because today is kind of just a sit down, short, catch up with your friend, talk about physical books. Especially funny in my opinion, because currently all but 7 of my books are not with me right now. I have of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my 5 bookshelves that I have. 3 bookshelves are also not here. But all of those books are currently with my in-laws. Thank you very much for keeping my books safe while Matt and I figure out this whole move situation. I do want to say that this conversation I wanted to have with everyone about physical books is not because suddenly I'm moving like 500 books from one house to another house. I've wanted to talk about this for about 2 months now, but it's just with travel and life, this is something that I wanted to put in a little bit of research into. And then when I started researching, I realized that this conversation has been had before many times. And then I was wondering, what did I have that could contribute to a conversation about owning physical media? And there are wonderful videos that I'm sure you all can find as well of why does it seem like people are owning physical media again, and not just books, but DVDs and CDs. And how does that also play into overconsumption and consumerism? And especially with the loss of the mass market paperback, which made owning physical books very accessible to all levels of income. It's just, there's a lot. And when we look at what is kind of going on with deluxe editions and limited run editions, all of the sprayed edges, all of the different unique ways that you can get one copy of a book, the discourse on this has already had a lot going on. In my opinion, really, when I was listening to everything, is that it boils down to, does it bring you happiness? And when I was thinking oh, well, I'm going to talk all about this, and I'm going to talk about how I did go out to my favorite indie bookstore and I grabbed 7 paperback books from all across the store and 7 hardback books from all across the store. And I looked at how much they were, which if you have not done this and you are a book enthusiast, go do it. Especially if you're like me and you're in your 30s, because growing up, I feel like books were so much cheaper, and I'm sure they were. And it was very much, and I kind of still have this mentality to this day, where you could always buy a book. If I was out with my parents shopping, I could pick up some crazy thing and they'd be like, oh, I don't know, maybe put that back, maybe another trip. But if I picked up a book and I was like, hey, this looks really interesting, I'd love to read this, they'd be like, it's a book, yeah, pop it in the cart. So growing up, that was very much reinforced. And I think part of that is because both of my parents are in education. And now, as a 30-year-old, I'm out shopping and I go, oh, it's always okay to buy a book, especially if it's supporting a small business bookstore or an independent bookstore. And to an extent, not even to an extent, I fully believe that it's always good to buy a book. And if you want to get the special deluxe editions, do it. I have special deluxe editions. A couple of my favorite deluxe editions I actually got at a secondhand bookstore in Cincinnati. It's in Columbus as well. It's in like the Southern Ohio area, half-priced books. It's probably more than just Ohio, Mackenzie. And I really loved those. But earlier this year, as we all know, one of my absolute favorite authors, Alexandra Bracken, had her pre-order campaign, and I very quickly was like, yes, please give me that deluxe edition. So if it brings you happiness, I'm all for it. I also, though, in that exact same breath, want to be like, libraries are a great option, and they are a great option that I use, and that I can also recognize that living in Ohio, I believe that Ohio has one of the best library systems in the US. Our library system is very interconnected, so you can, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I believe it works is that through Ohio Dot, I can request a book in Cincinnati, and if my Cincinnati library doesn't have it, like they can source it from Northern Ohio if need be. And I do use libraries. I primarily use my Libby account so that I can listen to audiobooks for free, but I do have a library card, so I can walk myself or drive myself to a library and pick up physical books. And with that in mind, again, and with these rising prices, I just started thinking to myself, do I need to look in and be like, why am I buying these books? Is it filling a need is it fulfilling a need? Is it XYZ? I'm not sure. Does it just bring me joy? And honestly, part of it is yeah. And I think that's great, because there will be times when I listen to an audiobook and I love it so much that I want a copy. And I started thinking to myself, well, why, when I have this great access, like, yes, okay, it brings me joy, that's great, but is that enough of a reason? Spoiler alert, I fully support that if you are able to spoil and treat yourself, yes, that is fully enough of a reason. But when I was doing some introspection, I realized that part of the joy of owning books is that I'm lucky enough now that I have a TBR that's a physical TBR, and I have mystery books on that TBR. I have a lot of romance books on that TBR. I have a few science fiction books, and whatever mood I'm in, I can just walk to wherever the bookshelf is and grab it off of my bookshelf, and I can start reading it. And I think that is a very lucky and privileged position to be in. And I've also realized that I want to share this joy with my friends and my community, so that if there's a long wait at the library and someone wants to read a book that I have, I can just be like, oh, here, you can just read my copy. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter that I'm traveling. I can just leave my copy with you. I know I'm going to see you at some point in the future. You can get it back to me. Read it and enjoy it. And it's the ability to have that knowledge and that source of entertainment and that material at my fingertips, and that ability to share it with my friends and family. And I think that's the biggest reason that I still have so many books, and why even through this moving process, it's not going to stop me from buying books, because I realize that my joy of it is enough, and then I can maybe spread joy to other people in my life. With all that, I feel like this is such a chatty vlog. It's like going to be short and hopefully sweet, and I hope you enjoy it and feel like you've gotten to know me better. But with that being said, I'm also going to try and enter into a phase of my life where maybe I'm no longer just like picking a book off the shelf and being like, this looks good, it sounds good, I'm gonna buy it. I think I'm going to try and be more mindful of my purchases. So a great example, there's maybe like 3 or 4 books that are coming out, some of them next month, some of them later in the year, and they will complete series or they will be from authors that are like auto buys from me. And instead of just like rushing out, getting it same day, which, side note, side tangent, if you can do that, pre-orders and release day purchases are huge for authors. And if you want to support an author that way, please do it. Please go out and be that person. I have been that person for like 4 years now, and it's fun, and it makes me feel good knowing that there are people in the world who are so creative and can share that creation and bring not just me, but so many people joy. And the little bit that I can do is go buy it. You will also be supporting them if you buy it a couple months after. So my plan is every October in Cincinnati, there is the Cincinnati book crawl. And I'm going to try and vlog about it again this year. Hopefully my vlogging experiences over the last year will make me more brave and it'll be a much better video. But I'm going to use that time to not only support local and independent bookstores, but support the authors and kind of give myself a reset. Like, what do I actually want to buy and have on my shelves and have in my home? And then also I will feel good because I'll get to buy books, and I will get to buy like a book from multiple different bookstores, which is great because it's great to support small businesses and support local. So that's one way I'm going to be buying books moving forward. Another way, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but if you're new to the channel or maybe it's just not something that you've thought of, I really enjoyed the idea, and it came about when Matt and I were on our honeymoon. And the one thing that I realized I really wanted was books. Like, that's what I wanted my souvenir to be. So on the honeymoon, I would buy books from local bookstores, and then I would write on the inside cover like Matt and Mackenzie's honeymoon and the year and the bookstore. And it was such a great idea, like, not to toot my own horn, but I really loved that idea. I loved picking up a book and flipping it open, and the books for the honeymoon were like very obvious. I'm like, oh, I got this here, and I already remembered it. But I started doing that on my other vacations. So when I went to New York, I would write on the inside cover, I got this on my New York trip from this bookstore. And then when I open up the book, I'm like, oh my gosh. And there's that pleasant memory of when I was traveling and who I was with. So that will still be a way that I buy books moving forward. And I'm also like, I just cannot state, like, I recognize how lucky I am to live in a city that really seems to support reading through the multiple independent bookstores there are, and through programs like the Cincinnati Book Crawl, but also through bookstores like Half Price Books, where you can get books secondhand and give used books. You can give used books a nice home. But really you can at a discounted price. So I'm so lucky. And last week's video further showed how lucky I am, because I'm only like a 90-minute drive from Columbus, and they do a Columbus Book Festival every year that's free. Like, the event is free. There's free parking. Even the headliners, they're ticketed, but the ticket is free. It's just so that it's just so that they don't go over capacity. And kind of reflecting on my life, I was like, this is really lovely to be in this situation. So with all of that, all I can say is that if you're someone who loves to read and you like buying books, or you're not in a spot where you feel justified in buying a book for whatever reason, there are options out there for you. Or maybe you're interested in this discourse that the book community has gone through that I only recently discovered when I was doing research for this video. And they are really interesting things. People point out topics that I had never even realized to think about before. So yeah, I would recommend doing your own introspection and figuring out what it is that you like about owning books, if you own books, or if the library is the way to go, or if you're going to be like me and you do the library and you read or listen to so many books a year, but maybe you just buy the ones that are really special to you. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think being in a world where we have access to all kinds of literature, I think that's a good world, and it makes me incredibly happy to be able to be in this world and be in this space and talk about books with all of you. So until next week, I hope you're in the middle of a good book, and stay tuned on the channel for possible new home and new library setups for Mackenzie and the Cozy Cat Reader channel. Bye.